Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time from DavieVids. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, randomness, out of the blueness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. That either could be a commentary, a review, a re-review, a ranking list, reaction, pretty much anything. Feel free. But DavieVids sent in this. That's why I'm looking at the computer. He wanted me to react to his list of his 20 favorite horror films of all time, and then he also has a list of movies other people love that I dislike, and movies that he enjoys but people hate. So DavieVids' top 20 favorite horror films. Let's go through the list. And he also wrote down why he likes them. Number 20, Scream. Classic take on the slasher genre as a whole and awesome social commentary. I agree. I mean, it wouldn't be in my top 20, but Scream I saw back in the day on VHS. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as a murder mystery. I liked the characters. I was never scared by Scream because Ghostface, I don't think he's a scary villain. Mask-wise, it's not that the mask looks bad, it's just I never found it scary. And he tumbles and fumbles, gets beaten up. It was fine because it was different, interesting. It was made it unique compared to Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, but it made sense with the story as well, it does. But I enjoyed it more for the wit, the humor, the cast, cleverness. That was fresh. That was actually fresh and clever back in the day. Now with stuff like Scream 5, total opposite. Now Scream had a damn good cast. Neve Campbell was wonderful. So was David Arquette, Matthew Lillard, Steve Allred, Jamie Kennedy. 19, The Blair Witch Project. Pioneer found footage opus with shocking moments throughout. I mean, I don't know if it has shocking moments, but I do agree. It would be... Blair Witch Project would be in my top 20. It would be in my top 20 favorite horror films. I love it. I love the film. I wish they would release a new special edition, because I think there's a lot of stuff you could do for it. New documentary, interviews, a commentary with the cast. I mean, why is it we've never had a commentary with Heather, Josh, and Mike, and they would talk about what happened day for day, and this is what happened in this scene. The fact that those three had never got into a room and done a commentary for it is ridiculous. All the cut footage. But I do have an extended version that someone put together that's about, was it two and a half hours long? Most of it is one big scene subplot that was about them investigating another legend that didn't pan out. And that was about like 20-25 minutes long. But there's a lot of nice little bits here and there, so it was interesting to see. But yeah, I saw that on VHS. Never had seen a found footage film before, so it was new to me. I'm like, wow, I felt like the fourth member of this group, and that was eerie, and that was creepy and believable in terms of acting, performances. Number 18, Cujo. First time I was truly afraid of an animal. I like Cujo. Maybe not in my top 20, but it's definitely... If I did like top 20 Stephen King films, it would be there. From the same director that did Alligator. In fact, Stephen King was a fan of Alligator, which I believe was getting a 4K from Scream Factory, which I don't care about 4K, but I think it does have a Blu-ray with it. But I'm like, well, I don't want the 4K because I don't have 4K. But anyway, but Stephen King liked that film. And he's like, who directed that? Oh, Louis Teague. And then directed this film, Cujo. The way they handled the dog was excellent. The dog handlers, they really made it as if this dog was just a vicious, horrible creature just ready to maim and destroy and get into that car any way possible. Dee Wallace did a nice job of handling hysteria, but not being annoying or irritating, and you felt sorry for her. Yeah, she had some infidelity, but you still felt sorry for the character, having to take care of her kid, make sure her kid didn't uh, get killed from heat exhaustion, and just getting bloodied and torn up by this dog. It's such a simple idea. A mother and son trapped in a car, and this dog with rabies tries to get in. But it was done effectively. 17, You're Next was overlooked when it came out, but I really liked the kills and twists. I mean, I'm not big on You're Next. I don't know, it just didn't get me like it did others. I don't think I hated the film. The very end I thought was a bit weird, because it's like, well, are they going to make it think as if she gets framed for the crimes, or they don't think she did the killings? But I don't know, I just remember being a bit disappointed with that. It wouldn't be on my list, but teach their own. Number 16, The Descent, underrated creature feature in a cabin with phenomenal dramatic acting and effects. I do like The Descent. Of course, that has two endings. Funny enough, the American ending is what made The Descent Part 2, which is ironic. That ending was because it was deemed to... The actual ending was deemed to downbeat. But it doesn't matter because they make a sequel and that girl dies anyway. In the sequel, so it didn't fucking matter, and The Descent Part 2 is such a piece of shit. So it didn't matter, so you might as well watch the original ending where she imagined, well, I guess I won't spoil it for people who haven't seen it. But The Descent, it does create a nice sense of claustrophobia. I think it's well shot, which is hard to do when you're in a cave system. I do agree with the performances. The effects, because the creatures are blind and it's bloody. It definitely, like I said, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I do remember having very effective oh shit moments. Number 15, Maniac from 1980. Joe Spinell gives a great performance from start to finish, and the deaths are fairly memorable. I agree with that. I mean, I don't know if I would put my top 20 favorite of all time. Maybe top 20 favorite slashers, maybe. But yeah, I do agree. Joe Spinell does a wonderful job. It's his best acting performance. It's definitely a movie that makes you uneasy. It does a nice job showing the sleaziness of the city at the time, before New York got cleaned up. This is back to the days of the dirtier ways of New York. And the death scenes by Tom Savini are definitely graphic, some of the most gory effects. That's why when people talk about gore nowadays, like Halloween Kills and Scream 5, I'm like, I've seen Maniac. Like, you want to talk about kills being gory, go watch Maniac. If you think the kills in Halloween Kills and Scream 5 are crazy, Maniac will make you lose your mind. And you blow your head up like that shotgun in the movie. But I mean, it's a good. I do like Maniac. I actually like the remake as well. Number 14, the remake of The Crazies. Tense remake that offers its own spin. Good time for me in the theater when I first saw it. I remember liking the film, The Crazies. Actually, I hate to say it, I remember liking it more than the original, because I like George Romero, but mainly for his Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Monkey Shines, maybe The Dark Half, Creepshow. But I wasn't big on his film of The Crazies. But I do remember liking the remake more. I actually thought Timothy Olyphant wasn't that bad in the film. He wasn't as talking through his teeth like he usually does. I thought, really enough, or funny enough, that director would go on to direct, I think, Sahara, the action film with Matthew McConaughey, which was like a gigantic flop. Pretty much killed that guy's career. But yeah, I remember The Crazies did okay at the box office, and it's been a while since I've seen it, but I do remember there's some decently effective. Like there was a moment where a person was tied down with all these other people, and a guy would just go with each person with a pitchfork, and the person's seeing this and they can't get out of it. They try to get out before the guy goes for that person. I do remember that being a tense scene. Definitely one of the better remakes. Number 13, Insidious, creepy paranormal flick that utilizes jump scares and various camera angles well. I do... Insidious was well directed. James Wan does have a nice handle with cameras, like angles, compositions. I don't know, I think I remember... like, not minding it, but not caring for the ending. But then I know it was like a to-be-continued ending, because then you had Insidious 2. And I haven't seen any of the sequels. So, I don't know, I mean, that film didn't get me as much as it did other people. I would say I prefer The Conjuring. I would say I prefer Malignant, if we're talking about James Wan. But, I mean, I don't remember hating Insidious. I don't remember hating it. I'll take over Hereditary or fucking Midsommar. Let's see. Number 12, Urban Legend. Streamlike Offering. Really enjoys as I first saw as a kid. Atmosphere, creative set pieces with solid acting. Yeah, I like Urban Legend. I do like Urban Legend. That's a film that, of that Scream era, I know we did last summer, Valentine. I thought Urban Legend was actually one of the better slashers of that time period. Because I like the whole motif of using the urban legend setups during each of the death scenes. I enjoyed the cast because you had like Brad Dourif at the beginning of the film. You had Robert Englund. I swear, there was someone else. I can't remember, though. I know you had Michael Rosenbaum, who was Lex Luthor in Smallville. And he has his own podcast nowadays on YouTube. I don't remember it being that gory, sadly, but I do remember having some fun. I do remember having some fun with that flick. Number 11, The Burning, interesting killer, ballsy gore for the time. Jason Alexander makes it a fairly fun viewing. Yeah, I don't mind The Burning. Again, it wouldn't be in my top 20 list, but The Burning, a decent slasher. You know, takes place at a camp. Recognizable people, like you mentioned, Jason Alexander. You also have Fisher Stevens from Short Circuit 1 and 2. What's her name? The girl that played the reporter in Bloodsport, she's one of the camp counselors. Interesting that you actually had a final guy, not a final girl. It's one of the rare instances, especially in the 80s, where you had a final guy. I will say the movie kind of shoots his load, as they put it, a bit too early. Because after the raft scene, where the killer goes buck wild, killing everybody, it loses a bit of momentum and never reaches that level again. So that's the thing, I think for a lot of people, and I can understand, after that scene, the movie kind of not bad afterward, but just not as glorious as that scene. And of course, that's to have the trailer that said "Don't," which then was one of the inspirations for the trailer called "Don't" in that movie Grindhouse. That the guys who made, the director who made Shaun of the Dead, Edgar Wright, he did the trailer for "Don't," and the reason I keep saying "Don't" is because of The Burning, which was actually produced by the Weinsteins. The Burning. But yeah, I don't mind it. Again, it wouldn't be in my top 20, but yeah, I didn't mind the film. Number 10, The Exorcist 3. Promising step up from the previous installment. eerie music and thrills, creeping me out to this day. I love The Exorcist 3. I agree. I think that's the best Exorcist film. To be honest, it's the only one I truly like, truly enjoy. I love George C. Scott and Brad Dourif. Them going mano to mano verbally is fantastic acting work. It does have creepy images. It does have creepy visuals. If you're going to do a jump scare that has one of the best jump scares in movie history, with the hallway and... if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I actually like the exorcism bits at the end. A lot of people don't. I actually like it. Yeah, but to me, I've never been a fan of the first Exorcist. I much prefer the third one. Number 9, the original Poltergeist, one of the first horror films I saw. Piqued my interest in haunted houses, poltergeist, ghost videos. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the original Poltergeist came out in 1982. Depending who directed, Tobe Hooper, Steven Spielberg. Nice blue-collar suburban family that's relatable, that the actors worked well together. Jo Beth Williams, Craig T. Nelson, the little girl, Heather O'Rourke. All the family members, they're easy to like, easy to relate to. Yeah, solid special effects for its time. Nice score that complimented the film by Jerry Goldsmith. Yeah, moments of, ooh, shit. Like the guy tearing his face off. That I don't know how they got away with that rating. Well, because Spielberg's name was attached to it. That's why. They didn't want to piss Steven Spielberg off. But yeah, it's a damn good ghost story. Speaking of which, I did that list of my top 15 favorite ghost story movies. I never thought of Session 9 as a ghost story. But if it was looked at as a ghost story, I would put that in my top 10. Just a side note. Because yeah, I never really thought of Session 9. I thought it was more like a psychological horror. But I guess if you do look at it as... I probably said in the review when I did it, looked like seemed like a ghost story. So I just never remembered it that way. So yeah, I'll probably put Session in my top 10. Because I love Session 9. But I guess, yeah, it's a ghost story if you want, you can look at it that way, but my mind still draws to it as a psychological horror film. But right, Poltergeist is a damn good one. The original, that is. Fuck the remake. Didn't the remake have like a CGI bird or something? Number 8, maybe it wasn't a bird. I forget what the fuck. It was some CGI critter. Number 8, Wrong Turn 2. Always liked the kills in this one. Arguably the best plot of the series. I mean, it would not be in my top 10 or top 20. I like Wrong Turn 2. It's the last decent Wrong Turn film. I do like that some of the characters you don't think will live do live. So, Joe Lynch, I thought, did a nice job playing with expectations. I like Henry Rollins. It does suffer because of a lack of budget. The gore, other than the opening, the gore is not as prevalent after the opening. I mean, there's gore, but I mean, like, the craziest gore is in the first scene. And then there's gore, but not as crazy as that. And, like, the makeup is not as prevalent on the villains. I would still say I like the first Wrong Turn more. But I do like Wrong Turn 2. And Wrong Turn 2 is better than Wrong Turn 3, 4, 5, 6, or in the reboot. God, that came out in 2007. That's crazy. It's been that long. It's one of the better direct-to-video sequels. I'll say that, Wrong Turn 2. I mean, if I did, that'd be interesting. Top 10 direct-to-video sequels. Tremors 2 Aftershocks would be number 1. Lost Boys 3, The Thirst, would be on there. Wrong Turn 2 would be on there. And I think that'd have to be direct-to-video sequels. That'd be tough. That'd be a tough list. Because I know my favorite would be Tremors 2. But that'd be interesting. Let's see. Number 7, Friday the 13th Part 6. Awesome sequel with cool kills, cheeky humor, return to form after an underwhelming Part 5. I don't mind Part 5. I don't hate Part 5 like a lot of people do. But I do like Part 6. It is one of my favorites of that franchise. It'd probably be my top 3 in Friday the 13th films. But it is a fun sequel. Jason have a bit more power because he's supernatural, so the kills do be a bit more creative, like punching a heart out, or like ripping a heart out of somebody's body, breaking someone's back like a fucking twig. I do like the sense of humor, thanks to Tom McLaughlin. Like the two kids. What the fuck's 2 kids? 2 kids under the bed. Well, what were you going to be when you grow up? Likeable characters. Yeah, the lead guy did fuck up. I mentioned that, but I do think the actor, who is also Return of the Living Dead, he did do Tom Matthews. He did a good job as Tommy. I like the girl. Again, the cast members. Has a great song by Alice Cooper. The man behind the mask. And he's out of control. Entertaining film. Number 6, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Wasn't sure whether this really counts as horror, more of a psychological thriller, but it's an underrated flick nonetheless, contains sense of horror elements. Yeah, I would put it as horror, and I liked the film. I think I did a review of it. Very creepy movie. Very effective musical score. John Monotton definitely kept a tense atmosphere throughout that movie. And Michael Rooker, he was fantastic in that as Henry. I mean, Michael Rooker was creepy as shit in that film. So I do like Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Number 5, yes, you're speaking my language. Elm Street 4, The Dream Warriors. Wonderful cat. Wait. Oh, okay, never mind. You wrote Number on Elm Street 4, Dream Warriors, 1987. So do you mean Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, or Elm Street 4, Dream... I'm guessing Number on Elm Street 4, Dream Warriors. He says 1987, so I guess he means Part 3. So I think you mean Part 3. Because I saw Number on Elm Street 4, yeah. But I'm like, wait, Dream Warriors, 1987. Wonderful casting, unique setting for the series, stunning set pieces, awesome soundtrack moments really tie this one together quite well. So yeah, I think he means Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors. Which is a good sequel as well. Very satisfying, good cast. Kincaid, Joey, like all these characters that are easy to root for. Creative death scenes with Freddy. That's where Freddy's did a bit more wit to play with in terms of dialogue. You can check in, can't check out. It's back in the saddle again. You big break on TV. Look at the prime time, bitch. Robert Englund does a wonderful job. And from the director, they were going to make The Blob from 1988 and The Mask with Jim Carrey. So yeah, damn good sequel. Number 4, Trick or Treat, 2007. My favorite horror anthology. Modern day creep show. Loved ever since renting it from Blockbuster. Good choice. I mean, I like Trick or Treat. I do agree. I don't know if I say it's my favorite anthology. It's definitely up there. I was really impressed by Trick or Treat. I know there was talks of a sequel, but it never came out. Never came to be, I should say. But I do like the stories are interesting. You get some really solid makeup effects. Like there's a werewolf transformation that's pretty solid. There's the creepy pumpkin kid thing. There's It's well filmed. It has some nice cinematography. You really get the feel of the Halloween season in that. And the fact that it takes place in the same town, so like one story, you see a little reference of it in another story, or this little bit's in the background of this story, so it's all feels connected, which was nice to see. It was, I don't know if I want to say it's unique with, well, I guess it in a way is a bit unique with anthologies. Because usually you have a narrator or some kind of, oh, we're telling stories and there's a story. Like, usually that's how anthologies were done. This was done in a different way, but creative. Number 3, the original Halloween needs no introduction. Again, good choice. The original Halloween is a classic. John Carpenter, my favorite director. One more can be said about the original Halloween. No, it's not realistic. But well done cinematography, solid acting, great musical score, effective atmosphere. Simple but effective were meant for films like Halloween. Number 2 is the original Silent Night, Deadly Night. Love this one to death. Watch it every Christmas as a tradition. Some of my favorite slasher kills and wonderful character development for a horror film. Yeah, it does have nice character development. I did a commentary for Silent Night, Deadly Night, and I mentioned that, for all the stuff critics complain about, this is one of those slasher films that has character development. The critics still complain about it. I mean, I wouldn't put it that high on my list, but I do like the film. I do think it's one of the better slasher films of the 80s. Because what you said, it does have, as character development, you get to know a bit about our lead. And then when the kills do happen, it's creative. Heads get chopped off, impaling on antlers, which is pretty damn unique. Punish. Yeah, it's a good one. And number 1, John Carpenter's The Thing. Film speaks for itself. That would definitely be on my list. Would definitely be on my list. For straight up horror, it would be number 1. Because, a lot of times I like horror, but it's mixed with action, like Aliens, Predator, Predator 2, Leviathan. Well, it's not a lot of action, Leviathan, but a little bit. But John Carpenter's The Thing, effective in every way. In atmosphere, in casting, in suspense, in paranoia, in acting. And this would just be mad when some people go, but this movie has Rotten Tomatoes score of this, and this movie is an IMDb score of this. I'm sitting there going, if IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes if they were around in 1982 when this film came out, you would look at IMDb, it would have like a 4.2. And Rotten Tomatoes would be like a 25%. That's how hated the film was back in the day. Critics said John Carpenter should not direct anything but traffic. So, I mean, that's where Rotten Tomatoes, yeah, it's fun to use them to prove a point. Even though, again, on the flip side, there's not much of a point. So there's always that catch-22 with that. But The Thing is a classic, and thankfully nowadays it's looked at as a classic. But back then, it bombed badly. It hurt John Carpenter's career. Got him fired from doing Firestarter, the Stephen King film. And then he went on to do films like Starman. Although, maybe that's for the better, because Starman is a lot better than Firestarter. But yeah, I love John Carpenter's The Thing. Honorable mentions, Hellraiser 2, good movie. The original Psycho. The Shining, great movie, The Shining. Wreck-Your Wolf in London. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's a classic. Evil Dead 2, that'd be on my top 20 list. Happy Birthday to Me, I could never get into that one. The whole ending, the Mission Impossible fucking ending. If it wasn't an ending trying to be that clever, I'd rather watch April Fool's Day from 1986. But Happy Birthday to Me, I couldn't get into the characters. I thought the ending was just too much for me. My Bloody Valentine remake? I don't mind the remake. I like the original more, though. As Above, So Below, that's cool to see that, because I rather liked As Above, So Below. I mean, if you're talking about horror films in the past 10 years, it'd probably be in my top 20 list. I really enjoy As Above, So Below. I like the setting. I like the construct of the plot. Maybe not original, but, the tradition of using your fears against you. I thought I thought that was done well. I liked that it was a Lara Croft, like, Tomb Raider type expedition, but with horror. I know people say, well, the lead girl's a Mary Sue because she did do all this and that. I disagree, because they show her faults. They show her fallacies. They show how she has doubts, and the whole thing with her father and being pig-headed about this, and she admits to her faults. At least there's something more to that character than fucking Rey in Star Wars. But yeah, I like As Above, So Below. So, 6 movies. Other people like that he doesn't. The original Carrie. I like the original Carrie. I thought Brian De Palma did a good job directing that. Cece Spacek did a nice job. Children of the Corn. I like the original Children of the Corn. I don't mind it. Better than a lot of the sequels. I Know He Did Last Summer. That one I don't mind either. Which is funny, there's a TV show that lasted like 1 season. Because no one gave a fuck. But I like I Know He Did Last Summer. I thought it was decent for what it needed to be. Time waster. VHS series. I liked VHS 2, but the rest of it, yeah. I mean, the first VHS I think was the most very horrible shit. Dead Snow, I agree with that. I like Dead Snow 2 a lot better. If you've never seen Dead Snow 2, again, I did not like the first Dead Snow, but I thought Dead Snow 2 was a lot more fun and what Dead Snow 1 should have been. I think Dead Snow 2, that's a film where the sequel is much better than the original. So maybe Dead Snow 2, that'd be another on the list of 10 good direct-to-video sequels. But the first Dead Snow, yeah, I agree. And It Follows. Yeah, I don't mind It Follows. I think it has a nice atmosphere to it, but one of my issues with It Follows is this creature is supposed to have survived for a long time, is the most inconspicuous motherfucker. Oh, no, it's not, because I'm trying to hide from people and hunt people, and I could be anything. So let me be a 7-foot tall wannabe basketball player in a hallway, or let me be a naked person on top of a fucking roof. Yep, that doesn't look inconspicuous at all. Wow, you're a shitty hunter, Mr. It Follows. I'm going to follow you, but I'm going to look... You don't look... The person right next to you, I'm going to look like the person next to you. Oh, I can clearly see you're a monster. Goodbye. This monster's bad at his fucking job. No wonder he's so goddamn hungry trying to follow everywhere. He's fucking up. Let me be naked on a roof. Again, let me be a 8 foot tall thing in a hallway. Again, you ever heard of the word inconspicuous? But I don't hate the film. But I like Carrie. I like the original Carrie. I like the original Children of the Corn. I Know He Did Last Summer. Dead Snow, I agree, I'm not a fan of. I prefer the sequel. VHS series, I like the second film. I like the skateboard segment in the third film. And I like the Doom type of segment in the fourth film. If you take that segment and the skateboard segment and you put in VHS 2, it'd be a great mix. Some movies you enjoy that other people hate. Chrome Skull Laid to Rest. Yeah, I've never been a fan of those. It's got some nice gore. That's really all I get out of it. It's kind of like The Prowler. It's got good gore, but to me it has nothing else going for it. And so it's just not as interesting to me. So, to each their own on that. Jack Frost. Jack Frost is fun as a B-movie. I mean, it took its B-movie reins and went with it. We don't have a killer snowman. But at least, okay, it plays to the holiday charm. The kills are unique based on a snowman, like killing people with ice and the wise ass one liners and the low budget but charming special effects. It's a B movie, but it's a fun B movie. Jack Frost. From not the Michael Keaton one, this is the horror one. The Hills of Ice 2 remake. Oh, the sequel to the remake. That Hills of Ice 2. I always thought that was a time waster. The characters are not much, Sally. I didn't hate them. I didn't love them. I was kind of indifferent. It was more enjoying the situation of soldiers go up against these creatures. Granted, I've seen that done much better. This film, much better. Predator, much better. The video game I played, House of Ashes, much better. But, it's a time waster. The makeup was not as good as the first, or the remake. The makeup of the monster, the characters, like I said, pretty indifferent. But I went at a fast enough pace. I got some laughs out of it. Maybe they were not intentional laughs, but I just never hated the film. I liked it more than the other Hills of Ice 2, the original, that had a fucking dog flashback. It was like a time waster. It was there. But I've seen much worse. Let's see, Black Christmas remake. Yeah, that's another one I don't mind. He's got gore, but it also has some creative ideas, like the killer using skin to make Christmas cookies, but made out of skin, but is it the Christmas ornament shapes? And its usage of colors because of the Christmas season. There's definitely some strange stuff going on in that film, and I do wish the characters, though, were better, more defined. Is that a remake I watch a lot? But I do think it has some nice direction in terms of some camera work, some angles, some usage of Christmas colors, especially reds and greens. You definitely feel the holiday cheer. Although Black Christmas Remake has one of the most misleading marketing campaigns in existence. To the point that may be one you could have sued for false advertisement and win. Because damn, when you saw the trailer, half of that trailer is not in the movie. Because literally, because the Weinsteins or whoever, they went back and shot shit just for the trailer. If you watch the trailer, there's a bit where a woman's being pulled into this light tree lawnmower thing. That's not in the movie. I don't even know what the fuck that thing is. This is made of lights, but it's I don't know what the fuck the thing's supposed to be. It's like a big lawnmower. That's really, what the fuck is that? Then that's not in the movie. What the hell? Oh, it was made just for the trailer. There's a bit where there's someone with a shotgun shooting. That's not in the movie. There's a bit where there's a figure on the roof. The ceiling. It's like the last shot. That's not in the movie. So much shit in that trailer is not in the movie. What the fuck? I want to see the movie that's in the trailer. Talk about false. That is false advertising. Which is bullshit. Number 5, Ghost in the Machine. I don't mind that film. I prefer Shocker, or this film in the 80s called Pulse, about electrical pulse that will kill you, starring Joey Lawrence from 1988. Yeah, it's called Pulse. But I like Ghost in the Machine. I like Karen Allen. It was nice to see her in a different movie than Indiana Jones or Starman. And nice to see her in a horror movie. And I'm a sucker for Karen Allen. I'm a sucker for the idea of this killer in the machine. The effects do not hold up at all. Although there's some decent camera work, like point of view direction. There's some style to the direction by Rachel Talalay, who did Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. But yeah, the effects don't hold. Like when there's a point where the kids are in VR, it's very, very 90s. You can't run, you can't hide, you can't win. But I like the actors. I like Chris Mulkey, who's one of our lead. He becomes one of our leads. He was in the Tom Selleck film Runaway. And yeah, I liked. That's that. Sometimes it can be an easy fix for me. If it's a short film that's quirky and fun and entertaining, and not say it's the best, but I like some of the actors. I like some of the direction, the style. They're trying. I had fun with that for what it was. Ghost in the Machine. Didn't I get a Blu-ray, or am I thought I got a Blu-ray recently. I don't know if it did. I think it did. I don't know from who. If so, I'd like to pick that up one day. And number 6, Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. It's funny, when you mentioned the first one, I was thinking, I wonder what he thinks about that. I like Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. I actually liked it more than the first. Only the fact of I can see all the best parts of the first film, but at the same time I see Eric Freeman. And that's a film where the so bad is good actually fits. Because they tried to make it, and this is what happened, and they were legitimate. It wasn't Sharknado. It wasn't, what's this movie that I review? Terror Tunes from 2002. Which, if you're wondering, I don't know if it'd be upload. If it's not uploaded now, it will soon. Terror Tunes. This film where this director had $2,000, cast 2 porn actresses to act like kids. So it's grown people acting like kids, and they're porn stars. So you could. Well, for porn act, no, I like porn actors, but not pretend to be kids. Like, no, they're actually supposed to be kids. Anyway, I'll get to that when I get to that. But, like, that's bad. What was that fucking movie? The Time Machine at the yard sale or something? That's bad. Like, Neil Breen, fucking nostalgia credits movies. Those are bad movies. Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 is charming. And it's bad. Eric Freeman. Hey, my name's Eric Freeman. Hey, the color blue. Good choice. Hey, garbage day. It's hypnotizing, and it's entertaining in its badness. And that makes it more charming and less irritating. But, yeah, I mean, of those, the only one I disagree with is Laid to Rest, but the others I don't mind. But, yeah. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. Thank you once again for the request, DavieVids, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.